Hey, welcome everyone. Holiday seasons. Hope you are surviving it and enjoying it. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Do you guys want to move this way a little bit?
Move that way a little bit. You bet. Okay, we're in there. Thank you, Brooklyn. Want to do something a little different tonight. We're going to answer some questions. If you have questions, please go ahead and write them down on our Facebook chat. Brooklyn over here will field them and we'll have a chance to answer some of those questions as well. I was thinking it's been a year. We've made it through another year. I hope those of you who've been Cellercising are experiencing a better quality of life and enjoying better health and better vitality and energy and just know that the Cellerciser cumulative effect, it just helps people get better and better and better. It's intense, it's wonderful. My whole family's been doing it. We've been doing it. Jess is basically born on it. This guy's going to be, he's 14. I don't know if it helped with growth or not, but he's just about that much shorter than me. And I think this year he's going to pass me by. So Cellercise, as we know, stimulates everything. Thyroid, adrenals, endocrine system. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to read some customer reviews. I picked some and I asked the Cellercise team to pick some reviews that really made an impression on them, that they really liked. I began looking through the reviews and I liked so many of them I had to stop looking. I mean, there are so many incredible reviews and stories of people whose health has really transformed as a result of using the Cellerciser. And I appreciate everything that they've shared. And I've experienced a lot of that myself. So thank you for being part of the family. Thank you for sharing. I want to encourage everybody, if you're interested in Cellerciser, of course, get them while you can. I don't know what this next year is going to bring, but I tell you one thing, I would not want to be without my Cellerciser. Okay, so let's start off by first welcoming you with a little Christmas poem. I wrote this a few years back, but I thought it would be kind of fun to share. So it goes like this. Got a little picture of Santa on a Cellerciser next to Rudolph and a little Christmas tree. So it's a Christmas card, but it says, about mid-June, we received a special call. Seems this feller and a reindeer had a talk with Mr. Hall. Heard you had a program to replace my exerciser. Say the elves and my missus that I need a Cellerciser. Folds is convenient and can fit into my sleigh. Is it true it's all I need to do? 10 minutes every day? Mr. Hall explained the program. It was over fairly quick. Then he handed me the order addressed North Pole, care of St. Nick. So anyway, again, I hope and all of you have a wonderful holiday season. Brooklyn, I got him. I was afraid I didn't have a question. All right. You want to read one? You betcha. You betcha. Why don't you start off by reading Martin's?
Okay, Martin. Martin just wrote me this review if we want to add it online. Just wanted to tell you that I've been using a Cellerciser for about 10 years now. I use it almost every day. My wife uses it too. I have been through several rebounders before I got this one. The springs always broke. I still have the 2 replacement springs that come with the Cellerciser. I'm 67 years old, 5'11", and 175 pounds. I have some physical problems, arthritis in my hips, and bad feet. I'm able to work around that because the Cellerciser is so versatile. I do intervals a couple of days a week, and I use it to warm up before doing exercise bands. I get and do light bounces, pushing with my feet down and so they don't leave the mat several times a day. I'm sure this is part of the reason my blood pressure and resting pulse are low. Wonderful product, one of the best pieces of exercise equipment I've ever owned, Martin.
Thank you, Justice, and thank you, Martin. All right, this is one that I've never forgotten. I mean, you can see she's excited, and reading this, you can't help but be appreciative. But it goes like this. This may be long, so I apologize in advance. I was in a bad car accident about 23 years ago. My head injury caused me to have to learn to walk, talk, and function again. So much of who I was lost on that day. Basic tasks like tying my own shoes and even remembering how to do laundry was a chore that I had to accomplish with many, many sticky notes posted up on the walls of my home to remind me how to do the task. I overcame a lot of it, but was still stuck with side effects of the crash. On the big ones, one of the big ones was I had to give up driving because of it, and was walking was so difficult for me. My brain would say when I was walking that I was going in a straight line, but my body would always wander off to the left. My family would just say, "There goes Mom again," and pull me back out of the way. I walked into many, many a wall. That has all changed, and I cry writing this. I was shopping with my husband and just didn't even notice until he kept looking at me strangely and said, "Wait here." He then ran to the end of the aisle and said, "Walk to me." I thought he'd lost his dang mind. Lots of laugh. But I did it, and I made it, straight as an arrow, exclamation points. I was crying in Walmart. I was so over the moon happy. I then started running around the store like a crazy teenager. At 60, I think I scared some folks. And after we left the store, I asked if I could try driving home. It was the most wonderful, freeing, blessed drive I've ever done in my entire life. David Hall, saying thank you will never be enough to tell you. My lost life is now back again, and I am free. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Liberty. Okay, go ahead. And I just want to say thank you, because that was a real powerful customer review, and it's the reason why we are involved in what we do.
Kathy writes, a success story, 65-year-old female, me. I worked out at the gym till May. Summer hit and I broke 2 bones in my foot. I rehabbed my foot with the Cellerciser and continued to just basically bounce and run on the Cellerciser. The gym has an in-body measure lean muscle and fat. Just using the Cellerciser, my lean muscle did not change. Obviously, my fat increased due to laziness, and eating. As we age, not losing muscle is a big win. Just letting you all know I love my Cellerciser.
Thanks, buddy. All right. Okay. Carrie currently lives in Cedar and sits a lot. Getting up and moving has been hard for him. We took the second Cellerciser down to his new place, and he bounces every morning. He stated that it has made a huge difference, and he doesn't look like he is dying when he takes his first step. In fact, I took quite a few steps before the pain started to leave. Now, he feels hardly anything at all. Thanks, Dave. Getting old sucks. It doesn't have to. Okay. This one's really tiny. You want to tackle this one?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Hi, Chris. Welcome to... Okay. I bought mine... This is from Christine. I bought mine 7 years ago and loved using it. Many of my friends and family have purchased one as well. I had 6 babies in 12 years combined, with lots of blood clotting issues, bad veins, plantar fasciitis, overweight, and egged. Needles to stay. I was a mess.
Needless to say, you bet.
Oh my gosh. The Cellerciser was literally an answer to prayer and helped me lose 65 pounds and improve my health tremendously. Just wanted to pop in and say, you got this.
And that was supportive to Christine. Christine has her own beautiful customer review that I'm going to read to you. This is from our dear Cellercise family member and support. She's online often helping us with sharing information and responding and doing a lot of our posts. So thank you, Christine. She says, knowing where we want to be and getting there are two different stories. Until I put my pictures side by side, I still saw the same person in the mirror. Sure, my clothes size had changed. In fact, I've had to buy a few things and a belt even. But I didn't see it until I compared the two. I think the hardest thing for me is the BMI charts. I don't like them. In my world, according to Christine, they aren't always right. Feeling good is what I wear now and how I feel should be my determination on where I am. I can't say this has been easy. Lots of ups and downs, but I think I've got this figured out. Diet is the key to losing weight. You can Cellercise all you want, but if you eat junk like I have, you just become a hamster in a wheel going nowhere. Eating healthy will help with so many things. Exercising will help me maintain and improve even more. I love my Cellerciser. It has helped me tone, maintain, and lose, clear my head, and keep me going. Having a Cellercise family that encourages you is the icing on the cake. From the start of my journey to now, I am down 45 pounds. I will probably stay where I am because I'm happy here. Thanks everyone, and you've got this. That's going to become one of our new phrases. I like it. Yeah, it's good. Okay, little break. We're going to read 12 Days of Christmas. This is a poem I did that kind of illustrates some of the stories behind the 12 days that I kind of want to share with you so that you can share some of these stories with others and be encouraged yourself. But it goes like this. On the first day of Christmas, my true love, what a night, gave a happy way to fitness and an answer addressing cellulite. And so we created the Jamba Run. And the Jamba Run uses the biggest muscles of the body. In fact, Justice used to do the Jamba Run. We had to tell him, no, back off, because it burns calories so fast that he lost too much weight. But we have women and men who has helped to increase circulation. He uses the biggest muscles of the body and it burns fuel. And many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So please share this with others that you know who might be struggling a little bit with a little extra weight and might want a program that has shown to be very effective in helping to reduce that. On the second day of Christmas, while children watch TV, no more couch potato. MrRebounder.com now offers Glee. So we then created the Mr. Rebounder app. And the Mr. Rebounder app, which is what we use, we turn on a television program, we'll hit the app, and of course you've all seen these things before. We'll pick a routine, we'll do a routine, and we watch the television program. And so we go through the program, and the time goes by like that. So it's a lot of fun. It dings in between each movement, and we've got over 30 pre-made routines for beginning, intermediate, advanced, for seniors, and we have the ability that you can utilize 65 different movements now, 65 movements. So you can create your own routines as well, depending on what you want to accomplish. So we'll take that out. Okay. All right. On the third day of Christmas, our seniors had a date. It was time to feel younger, better health. With Cellercise, it's ne'er too late. And that reminds me of the gentleman just over a year ago who called me up and said, Mr. Hall, I woke up this morning feeling great. I know why. It's because of your Cellerciser. I had to call and say thank you, which we really appreciated. And then he goes on to say, 20 years ago, you introduced me to Cellercise, and it changed my life. I've watched my family, friends, and peers pass on, a lot of them on drugs, medications, poor quality of health. I woke up this morning, I feel great. I'm still enjoying life. He says, I'm still very active. 20 years ago when I began, I was in my 70s. So he's in his 90s now, and he's enjoying life. And that's what I want all of us to be, is be able to enjoy life as we're getting older. The moving up and down on the Cellerciser makes it easier on the heart. It pumps with the heart. As you know, it helps break up sticky blood cells, helps increase oxygen, blood flow to the brain and other body parts and functions. And so that's what Cellercise is about, is how can we enjoy and maintain a good quality of life? Because aging is different, and we don't have to give up our quality of life as we get older. On the 4th day of Christmas, Cellercise away the stress, performed with greater vigor, felt more energy, enjoyed more happiness. And have you ever noticed children when they're bouncing up and down on a couch or a bed? Are they upset? No, they're not. They're having fun, and that's what we want. So we coined the phrase, why work out when you can play in? Let's have fun. You play on the Cellerciser while it works on you. And that's what it is. On the 5th day of Christmas, I now avoid the gym. With Cellercise convenience, why work out when you can play in? And that's true. You don't have to change your clothes. You don't have to, we've got probably 5 inches of snow today out there, and it's still snowing. Going to be a white winter. But being able to conveniently stay at home with your family, as you all know, watching a television program or having the heater on or a fire going, it just makes it more convenient and still very effective. And you're not exposing yourself to other elements that might not be healthy. On the 6th day of Christmas, with balance bar in hand, no more limitations. Cellercise for young and old. Well, now you can. And that's what it is. There's no age limit. People, when I was doing my business plan, they said, David, who's your target audience? I said, people. And they laughed at me and they said, no, you need to narrow your audience. I said, no, you need to broaden yours. Cellercise has really no limitations. Whether you're young, like your nephew when he was just holding on and bouncing, and now the guy is incredibly coordinated. He's how old now?
He's 8 now.
He's 8 years old. And the guy was doing crazy flips off the Cellerciser into a beanbag chair when he was 4 years old. He grew up on the Cellerciser. Or people who are older, who are Cellercising, and all they do is get on it and just do the gentle baby bounce, the health bounce, to help break up sticky blood cells, increase the lymphatic flow and the lymphatic circulation, increase oxygen blood flow in different areas of the body. The Cellerciser, what makes it unique are the springs and the mat material. We've got the patented spring design, and those patented springs create resistance with movement. If we don't have resistance, if it's too sluggish, you're not going to get the same kind of results. And with the Cellerciser, we do. We know that. Okay, on the 7th day of Christmas, what Cellercise can do, no more jarring impact. Knees, hips, shoulders, back, with benefits come true. And so we devised different movements on the Cellerciser that address different areas of your body. The knees, the hips, the back, the shoulders, knee problems, hip problems, back problems, etc. They're generally the same problem. They're weakness or injury in the supporting muscles and ligaments of the joint. So we approach the ligaments and tendons that support the joint. And we have those movements in the Mr. Rebounder app as well, so that as those supporting muscles and ligaments get stronger, they help support the joint, and we can retain more fluid, and very often those issues just slowly fade away. On the 8th day of Christmas, seldom shared but not taboo, digestion, elimination. Cellercise addresses these for all of you. And it's true, most exercises are working from the outside in, not generally from the inside out. Cellercise definitely works from the inside out. That's just one of the many advantages. So as we're moving up and down and doing a gentle twist, we're putting the colons and the intestines and the liver and the kidney and the spleen and the gallbladder and the pancreas and the adrenals and all these internal organs, we're massaging them. So we're moving up and down, side to side, and if we can improve the efficiency of the internal organs functions, we're going to feel better. We're going to perform better. And that's why we addressed and created those programs. On the 9th day of Christmas, with more than little hopes, Ski Patrol now offers a brand new way to hit the slopes. And that's the Ski Patrol. The movers, as we move side to side, we're working the same muscles ligaments and tendons and increasing circulation. It's intense, but it's very effective. So that when we hit the slopes, we're conditioned. We're ready to enjoy our skiing without getting as fatigued as we might otherwise be. On the 9th day of Christmas, with more than little hopes, we did that. Okay, on the 10th day of Christmas, metabolize, ignite, burn that excess fat, repetitions of the Jamba Run delight. And that's due. And we've had people who've done repetitions of the Jamba Run because when you do the Jamba Run, you're going to eat up the glucose and the sugars very quickly. And when those are exhausted and you continue to do repetitions of the Jamba Run, the metabolism is going to be a lot higher because you're working heavy, big muscles. But you're going to be burning a lot more fuel. The body's going to go after the white adipose tissue or the fat that's accumulated. I don't know of anything better than the Jamba Run for helping to increase metabolism and for burning off the fuel. On the 11th day of Christmas, blood sugar, what the heck? With daily Cellercising, both health and circulation now are in check. And that's true. And we actually developed a little website called Cellerciser Diabetes Help, HELP.com, to address the blood sugar levels. And what Cellercise does and has done for so many people once they get on it after a meal, and you can hear what they have said, what has happened to their blood sugar levels when they have tested and used the Cellerciser. Wonderful. And on the 12th day of Christmas, MrRebounder.com, 30 plus routines to custom make or pick one for your mom. And that's it. We all know somebody that we can help. And I listened to somebody on the radio the other night or the other day, and I love the message. We're often, especially when we're younger, we ask people, "What did you get for Christmas?" Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did you get for Christmas? And this changes the whole perspective. Instead of saying just, "What did you get for Christmas?" What did you give for Christmas? What did you give for Christmas? If we can all think more in terms of, well, what can we give? What can we do for someone else? We're going to have a whole different perspective, attitude, and appreciation, I believe, for the spirit of Christmas. So I wanted to pass that on. You all know somebody that can benefit from what we've learned. Oh, there's so many more of these.
Are those the reviews?
Yes, there's many reviews. But I want to go through some of the questions. And thank everybody, the doctors and the health practitioners and Dr. Lindner and many others who have contributed and supported the Cellercise family and program. But let's go through some of these. All right. Do you have any suggestions or specific exercises that would help with plantar fasciitis, specifically for pain with the heels? Thanks. And yeah, soft-soled slippers to begin with. And we've talked about plantar fasciitis and just the fascia in general. Cellercise is weight-bearing on everything, not just muscles, underlying muscles as well that help to regulate our balance, our timing, our coordination, as well as the fascia, which helps support everything. So Cellercise is going to be weight-bearing. If we wear shoes, and most of us do, shoes can be, over time, more restrictive in our ability to have movement in the foot because it's restricted to the flexibility of the shoe. When we go out and try to do something strenuous and it requires more flexibility in the foot, but the foot hasn't been getting that flexibility, then we can tear. We can tear that fascia. Cellercise helps to increase circulation. It helps to massage all the tissue. Great way to warm up for anything. If you're dealing with an issue, wearing soft-soled slippers that still have movement but offer a little additional support can be very helpful as the tissue starts to become more flexible again and stronger at the same time. So that might be helpful. 3 years ago, I had hip fracture, not a replacement. I've been Cellercising for 2 months, mostly baby bounce. My muscles in that area are very tight. Is Cellercising enough to release the muscles, or do I need to foam roll as well? Thank you. What we have done when we do the hip rock, and then we do the twist, and we do the twist in the hip, those are all massaging the tissue in that area. Keep in mind that when you're massaging, even using a roller, you're attempting to get rid of the stress and tension, increase the flexibility. When you Cellercise, every single cell of your body is weightless weight. It's all being massaged automatically. So over time, those cells become more flexible, and so the tissue and the muscles and the ligaments can become more flexible as well. It can take time. That's not to negate a roller, though. If you want to get a roller, go ahead and get a roller. I would Cellercise first, and then use the roller, and then Cellercise afterwards, because there's a little different dynamic involved, and the movement up and down is going to help restore homeostasis or balance through that area of the body again. Okay, is my 5-year-old Cellerciser still a solid piece of equipment? It certainly should be. If you use it according to directions, it should last 20, 30, who knows, we don't know how many years. The unit that I use, that I demonstrate with every week, is 17 years old. Everybody's on it every day, all the time. I mean, it's, I use it, Liberty's using it for 20, 30 minutes. I mean, every day, 17 years old, had thousands of people jump on it, been all around the world, and I still use it. And we've never broken a spring. We haven't had to replace the mat. It's in good condition. If you do jumping jacks on a Cellerciser, you can land on the springs. And landing on the springs can actually fracture a spring. That's potential. I've never broken a spring in my entire life. If you do the jumping jacks the way I teach, you don't have to worry about it, because you're kicking your legs out behind you while your arms move up and down over your head. And that keeps you more centered into the mat. So yeah, it should last, I hope it lasts a lifetime. Okay, looking for some advice on strengthening the pelvic floor muscles. I just finished pelvic floor physical therapy, very small prolapse. How do you use the Cellerciser for this? Do you just do a Kegel and health bounce? Does anyone have a little routine? You can actually create a routine on the Mr. Rebounder app, and if somebody wants to do that, they're welcome to do it as well. But yes, you can do the Kegel method where you tighten and then bounce, and there's going to be weight bearing on all of the fascia, connective tissue, surrounding muscles around that whole area, as well as the sphincter muscle, which is one of the few exercises that I know that really helps to strengthen and build the sphincter muscle. The other movement, which is very effective too, is to sit down on the Cellerciser and tilt backwards a little bit. When you tilt backwards a little bit, all these muscles are going to tighten up automatically. Now you don't just have a vertical movement, you're sitting back and bouncing, and all of these muscles, because you've leveraged your body weight, are going to be working that whole lower abdominal area. And as they get stronger, then you can become more aggressive. All right, please help. We have had our Cellerciser for a couple of weeks and have oiled the springs with WD-40. It wasn't too noisy before we oiled it, but right after we oiled it, the noise became 10 times worse. It's really bad. I don't know if we used the wrong oil or what, and I'm scared to oil it again. They live in an apartment. All right. If you spray the springs, if you get oil on the coil of the spring, you're going to make it squeaky. It's best to take some Dawn detergent soap and water and just hose it off and scrub off the oil that's on those springs. The springs themselves don't squeak. It's the two ends, unless you oil them, it's the two ends of the springs where the steel rubs against steel. That's where it can squeak as it's breaking in. If you put a couple drops, we use 3-in-1 oil. You can use other types of oil as well. But if you 3-in-1 oil on both ends of each spring, bounce on it a little bit and do it again the first time. And bounce on it. That oil will help to polish the steel. As you move up and down and do different movements, any rough edges become very, very polished over time. And then as you do that, you'll oil it maybe 3 months later, and then 6 months after that, and I'll oil mine maybe once every year and a half, year and 3 months. because they just don't get squeaky. They just get very quiet. And that should be helpful. So,
No oil.
yeah, don't oil the springs on that. Don't do that. All right. This is one more customer review, and I'm going to ask Brooklyn if she's got any questions. It says, I was exhausted after spending the weekend on my knees, couched on a cement floor, caring for spayed, neutered dogs and cats at a Mexican charity clinic. I was so sore when I got up this morning, but felt so much better after a few minutes of health bounce on my Cellerciser. So glad I have a Cellerciser in Mexico with me, as well as one in Ontario, Canada, home base. Thanks, Dave. Thank you for sharing, Patty. And, you know, Brooklyn, we have any reviews or any questions? No questions. Great. Well, thank you for being a part. Thank you for making a difference. Thank you for being a difference. Enjoy your holidays. We'll come back at the beginning of the year. What I'd like to know, though, if you could, write to us and let us know some of the things that you would like to see happen. Some of the things that are important to you, or what you would like presented. We've done a lot over the years. There's more we can do. I'm here for you, so I don't want to do what I want to do. I want to do what you need me to do, what you would like me to do. So please share and let us know. If you have people that you know could benefit from this Cellerciser, we've still got some. Last year we were having a hard time, people waiting for weeks. But we've got some, and we've prepared. Let us know what we can do to help you. Thank you. Have a wonderful Christmas, a happy Hanukkah, and a beautiful holiday season. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.
Merry Christmas.